Hey there, so today we have another review. This is, I believe, the last one from the bunch of beers that Live Oak sent. Sorry, let me get there. All right, something like that. I think we're okay. This is a Big Bark, so 4.9%, Vienna style lager beer, amber lager. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I think I argue that the style's pretty much dead. I don't really know why it's in BJCP. There aren't really any like commercial examples, like just like they don't really. Sure, the BJCP has commercial examples, but like, can anybody find them? Like, there's like very few regional breweries that do them, and then more so just small breweries doing it. And like, I don't really, like, what's the point? But I think it sort of has an important history because you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe some of the most popular lagers out there, or amber lagers, are Vienna lager inspired, like Sam Adams and Sam Adams Boston Lager, Brooklyn Lager, and something else on the top of my mind. I guess those are the two big ones I want to say, right? Oh, maybe Yingling even? I don't know. But like, Yingling doesn't taste like this stuff, right? That's what's here. Yeah, their take on Vienna Lager, but like, let's just see how it tastes in general. Because again, I don't feel like I have much of a reference point, despite having reviewed so many beers, studied all this beer. But like Vienna Lager, like proper commercial examples. Honestly, if you go on BJCP commercial examples, I'm pretty sure I've had zero of them. So goes to show. Beer comes in a beautiful color. Look at that. It's like ruby, glowing. It's this really wonderful kind of medium amber color. It's just like get this really like beautiful ruby hue to it. Great clarity on that. Just a good looking beer. Slightly off white head. On the nose, it's pretty light, right? It's got a little bits of this light kind of like caramel sweetness to it, but more like toasty. Yeah, it's the best analogies I can think of are like German. So it goes to like sort of like Märzen, right? Like full blind smell. I just think of Märzen. Like it just has this wonderful kind of like a peanut. What peanut skin? Like, oh yeah, when you roast peanuts and then you obviously crack the shell, there's that flavor of the skin. That's a little bit than the flesh, a little bit different than the flesh, and that kind of like toasted Maillard nuttiness of the roasted peanut skin. Sorry. Yeah, it does have a lot of nuttiness to it, like really peanuts, roasted peanuts, a little bit of almost like peanut butter, but obviously there's, it's not as fatty and like, unctuous as peanut. Oh, that's the other one. Roasted chestnuts, big roasted chestnut notes. Yeah, smells pretty nice. Nice. On the palate, definitdefinitely have the depth of Märzen. Märzen for me has like this really intense kind of like bread character. Like I think the there's some amount of like maybe Munich in there. Anyway, it just has this like long kind of depth to it that this beer sort of has, but like it's almost like one step under. I'm trying to think of what the hell it tastes like. It is not far from International Amber Lager. So like again, some of the beers I just mentioned, like a Brooklyn Lager or a Sam Adams Boston Lager. Granted, I believe they've updated the recipe on. Last time I reviewed Boston Lager, I hated it, and then like Boston Lager I haven't reviewed in a while. It tastes quite different. And then I get maybe like a Blue Point Toast Lager, which again I haven't reviewed in a while or had in a while. But yeah. It's nice. It's got like a smooth character, like a light kind of like, okay, it's an inviting kind of lager. But right in the middle, it hits with a certain oomph that seems like a little bit more intense than nose. Again, roasted chestnut's a great example. Like it really has a roasted chestnut flavor to it. Peanut nuttiness, this kind of like light toastiness, hints of like caramel kind of character. There's also noticeable hoppiness to this beer too. A little bit herbal. Lingers on the back end, helps clean up the beer. And the cool thing is, it does flash of Märzen at times. It almost has this like big chewy bread note, which I get from Märzen. But I feel the hoppiness sort of like balances that out. Whereas Märzen, I feel, well, it depends on when it comes here, but It really full blind like tastes very much like Manson, which is fine. I think that's like you know what it is? There's also an extra redness to this beer. I don't know what malts. I don't know if it's Crystal or Munich, Vienna. Like something's having a little extra oomph to it. It might be Crystal, but it could just be a lot of Munich in there that's really building the body and really selling on why this beer has similar tasting notes to me to Manson. If you want something that has like, if you like amber, like quote unquote, like people ask like, can I get an amber this, amber that? If you want something like the next grown up, really this is almost a full grown up step next to International Amber Lager. This is it. Full character, way more depth of malt, a noticeable like bitterness that comes in right past the mid palate. It's not overly too hoppy, but it has a nice, beautiful balance to it. So yeah. Again, a lot of people want something that's not always clean, crisp, white bread, doughy, cereal grainy. Maybe they want a little bit of a nuttiness and complexities of malt. And I think that helps draw people to beers like Yingling, Negro Modelo, and Boston Lager, and Old School Fat Tire, and Brooklyn Lager, like Blue Point Toasted. Like these are all beers that people were geared towards because it just had a little bit more color, or a lot more color. And then I guess in their mind, the flavor also reflected a little bit, but I think the color probably affected the flavor a little bit more. Here you get the color, but then a way more flavor than what a lot of the beers that I just mentioned. Yeah, out of like quote unquote amber lager, Vienna lager, what do you want to call it? This is really nice. I mean, how could you go wrong? Live Oak just crushes. These beers are all so freaking good. I'm gonna give this a lot of points just for the fact that I don't like. I'd have a hard time. I mean, you could go Manson, so I guess that's fair. Or maybe Irish Red Ale. Like, I'm thinking of commercial examples of like, somebody wants something red, and like, where do I give them a beer where it's just like, this is gonna show you flavor, right? And I think American breweries don't really do that. Maybe an amber ale, but then like amber ale really relies a little bit more, like way more on hoppiness, right? Generally. So it's just really tight, nice beer, yeah. And it's, again, something that the market just generally does not have available. Like, it definitely tastes somewhat different than Manson. Yeah, it's like, yeah. So, how about this? If it was completely different and like all the way from left field, I guess I have to give way more points. But like the fact that this is like very accessible for Texas people, is its own kind of thing, and like it tastes so good for a style that pretty much is quote unquote extinct. Like I don't, how about this? I couldn't find anything like this in my market except the fact that Live Oak came, right? Or maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it really does analogize well to, Manson or Irish Red Ale or something like that. I'm trying to think, or maybe some great example of International Amber Lager. I don't know, but let's go for the rating. 95. Yeah, Live Oak has just been the big bark. Like there's just all the beers have just been absolutely killer. I don't think I gave anything under like a 93 or 94 from Live Oak from my memory. I believe so. Everything was awesome. Live Oak's crushing it. That's so lucky for you guys in the Austin area and Texas area to have Live Oak. Really lucky to finally be introduced to the brewery. Again, I'm going on over 10 years, being into craft beer, hunting beer, and doing this all fun stuff. Have never had Live Oak, and what a shocking great brewery to try out. That's my conclusion. Until next time, 95 later.